Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for December 22nd, 2019. So, I'm finally off work, yay! So, I have a couple of days off from work, which is really nice. So I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done in the next couple of days, but how yesterday went, I don't know how it'll go. We'll see. So I'll explain that. My work was not as stressful this week as the last couple weeks have been. I did get still a bit of overtime, but not quite as much as I did, so that's good. Again, they can always expect me to be there, and I'm like, this is not right. Anyway, there's just stuff to do. That's the only reason why I stayed, but still. Head stuff. Yes, Cooper. Yes. Okay. So I have the next few days off. I have through Christmas Day. I do have to go back on the Thursday to work, but I took off a few days just because I thought I was going to have Christmas at my house this year, and there were going to be a lot of relatives here, and so I was going to have to clean my house. So I wanted to have days to do it. Well, now it got changed, and now it's going to be at my parents' house, so I don't have to do the deep clean I was going to do. I'm still planning to do some changes, well, I'm going to change the office around. So maybe the next time I film in here, it'll look different. Anyway, my goal is to redo my bookshelves. I have stacks of books over in the corner here. I want to get back on the shelves. I want to purge as I go, and then I want to reorganize and put things differently in these bookshelves. I'm going to have 7 in here. And then I have a couple out in the front room, and then I want to reorganize the nonfiction bookshelf that's all by itself in the kitchen or the dining room. So, I mean, I'm hoping to get some stuff done around the house on my couple days off. Yesterday I wasted it because I just enjoyed watching TV, and I watched like 10 episodes of the new Fruits Basket anime, so that was awesome. But anyway, so hopefully, so I'm going to get some stuff done. I have a few more Christmas things I got to go do, presents I got to go pick up today or tomorrow, so, and then probably hit the Star Wars movie. I don't know, we'll see. So, so let's talk about the books that I read this week, the ones I'm in the middle of, and what I might pick up in the next week. So, I finally finished Revenant Gun by Yoon Ha Lee. I am so glad I finished this trilogy. This was so good. I reread Nine Fox Gamut and Raven Stratagem earlier this year, about April and May, and then I started to read this, but I had just read too much science fiction altogether. These books are, I don't know, these are not books you really should binge, I don't think. I mean, binge a book, but not all 3. That was kind of hard on me. Again, these are sci-fi books that have to do with they have, okay, how do I, so it's like has mathematical backing of how things run in their universe, and how they have this high calendar that everybody is kind of subject to, and people do certain things for that to make all their weapons and ships work in better ways. And it's very interesting high concepts of that. And sometimes when it drops you in at the beginning of Nine Fox Gambit, yes, it is very confusing, but I think it is worth it to persevere and get through it. I loved those books, and then I really like this book too. This is not my favorite of the 3. I would say this is my least of them, but again, that happens with a lot of trilogies, but I still think it wrapped up really good. I had no idea where this was going for part of this book. I wasn't sure how this was going to go. And then the way the end was, I was just like, whoa! To me, I was not expecting exactly the way that went. There's a few things I'm like, well, I kind of think it might do that, but no, mostly I did not think it was going to go that way. And so it was really interesting. This again, of the books, this is a little slightly odd. It has 3 perspectives, but not all the perspectives are ones we've had, or 2 of them are new ones to us, and they're kind of different. So, well, one for sure. I thought this was a really good book. I'm disappointed that I didn't finish it, 6 months ago when I started reading it. But I'm glad I finished it. I finished this series. That's great. The trilogy's done. I do have, the short stories, the Hexarchate stories or something. It's on my shelf above my head. I can't see it. But I'm going to pick that up probably in the next year just to read the short stories in it. I'm not a big short story fan. I am not, I don't expect to read it straight through, but I think I might pick it up and have it sitting by me and just read it every once in a while. Just because I love this world, and I love Yoon Ha Lee's writing, and I really want to read some of the other little stories and novella. I think there's a novella in there too. I'm not positive. I can't remember now what's in there, but I'm looking forward to reading that too. But I finished the series, so that's at least good. I got at least another series checked off. I then picked up the 5th book in the Belgariad by David Eddings. This is Enchanters Endgame. This is the 5th book in this, and well, it's a really big series, a real 10-book series, pretty much, with a couple extra books on the end. But the first 5 books are the Belgariad, and this is an early 80s epic fantasy. I really enjoyed this reread. I've reread these every 5 to 10 years over since I read them when I was 14. So I picked them up. This is it was not the first epic fantasy I picked up, but it was definitely like the second. And again, I can blame my cousin for getting me into this stuff, but it was awesome. So he had given me the first 5 books, so for this series, so that's great. And then I had to wait for the rest of the books, which was hard. It was like my first, one of the first really waiting for new releases. Pain to get those. I expect to read reread the next 5 books, the Malorian or something. I can't remember how you say it. It's got me all mixed up because of the Mandalorian. Now my brain, I can't get the 2 words to make sense. But anyway, it's a next 5-set book. A set of 5 books in the next epic fantasy. So these are really fun, light. These are not super complicated. They're just fun road trip wise with prophecy and gods, and it follows from the first book, Pawn of Prophecy, Garion, who is a young boy who grows up with his aunt, but he meets people that come to see her, and that he's not quite sure, there's something off about this, and then something happens, and then they go on an epic road trip. And it just, I don't know how to explain it. It has to do, as I said, with prophecies and stuff. I just love these books, and I'm so glad that I reread the series. Again, I read it periodically, so I will continue my reread with the next series of 5 books. Hopefully I'll get those done next year. And then I continued my listening to John Adams by David McCullough. I'm now about 530 pages in. So I still have about 120, 140. I don't remember exactly. So I have about 6 or 7 hours left. I listened to this all week. As I said, I made great progress last weekend when I went down to see my parents, and then this week I continued on, but by Thursday I was starting to wane, and Friday I just did not turn on the audiobook at all, and then yesterday I didn't go very far, so I didn't have it on either. So I'm probably going to take a week off. I probably will not pick this up until Thursday after Christmas and start to restart it. I would really love to finish this by the end of the year, but I'm not going to force it. Again, audiobooks I usually listen only in my car, but I mean, I could possibly get it done or spend some time when I'm cleaning in the next couple days, because I'm listening to it, but I don't know. I mean, I like it, but it's history, so I guess I need to split this one up a little bit more. It's pretty dense. So, but right now we're in the middle of his presidency, and again, I'm doing presidential biographies, kind of challenge to myself. I've always done Washington in the middle of John Adams. So, I also want to do some around that, so I think I'll pick up probably Ben Franklin next. I think he'll be the next one I pick up, because I want to keep them kind of in order of where they were influential, they were part of the whole deal of the revolution and, the starting of the presidency. And again, I do not like politics, and this is just, most of these are all have to do politics too, but I guess I feel like I need some of that knowledge, and I like learning things, especially historical and, or history, nonfiction. So I'm enjoying it. as I said, I need to take little breaks. So again, hopefully I'll get it done by the end of the year, but I'm not promising. And then yesterday, because I finished Enchanters Endgame, I stayed up late on Friday to finish that, because I was so close to the end, and I'm like, let's just finish it. It's the climax. I just need to finish it. So I stayed up. So had a late start yesterday, and then I went grocery shopping, and then I came back, and I was kind of unsure what to pick up next, which is weird because I have all these books that I want to read. I wasn't quite sure. But I decided to pick up something that's been on my shelf all year that I wanted to read, and that is 7 Days in May by Kim Izzo. Now this says it's a novel of the Lusitania. So this is a historical fiction of that time period, 1915. And it has two different perspectives, or at least so far, which is Sydney is one of two sisters who are really, you know, socialite, well-to-do orphans in the New York scene. And one of them, her sister Brooke, is going to marry some impoverished English lord. So they're getting ready for her marriage. So they're going to take the Lusitania across for the wedding to be in England. And then we also follow Isabel, who is in the codes, one of the codes departments in London, and her working with the code breakers. And she's one of the typists in there. So it started out kind of like, okay, well, I'm not sure this whole, I mean, it was interesting, the sisters, because they're very, very different. One, the one we get the perspective of Sydney, she's very much into women's rights and, you know, using her money to help with the cause of getting, of doing that. And then her sister is very much a throwback, kind of one of those people who wants the man to take care of her, but she wants the title, you know, even though she's American. I don't know. Anyway, but I guess it was that kind of time period. Anyway, so so she had gone on a tour, gone to England the year before and met him. And so now she's going to marry him. Anyway, because again, she has a lot of money because her parents had both passed away, and her father had a great fortune. So the sisters had it split, and they both are really well off. But anyway, so we only get a little bit of them so far in this. So I'm not sure how I feel about them. It is Isabel who is the one who is in London that made me pause and put this book down yesterday. So again, I only got 35 pages in, but at that moment, she reads something she's not supposed to. And I don't know the aftermath of that. I don't know if I want to go past that. Because to me, again, it's that whole, you're an idiot. You're given a message from somebody very important to give to somebody else very important, and you freaking open even though the envelope was not sealed, she opened it and pulled out the letter. And her reasoning of why she should open it is because she had signed a non-disclosure for, you know, secrets and stuff. So, or, you know, so she couldn't tell anybody anything. I'm sorry. So, I don't know if I want to continue. What do you guys think? Like, is that something stupid that I should just move past and see if it gets better? I don't know. I'm only 35 pages in, and that already pissed me off. So I don't know. I don't know what I want to do about that book. So I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it's funny how some books just like react, like they'll make me mad. There's certain, as I said, there are certain triggers, and that is one of my triggers of doing something incredibly stupid. Especially when she's only been there like a month or something and she's trying to make a good impression. Why would you? I don't get it. So anyway, I set that down probably about early afternoon. I was just like, nope, this isn't happening right now. So you guys have to let me know if you've read that and if I should continue, if it's worth it. If not, I'm DNFing it. I'm not right now. It's currently still reading. We'll see. But so anyway, I picked up another book that had been on my shelf all year that I'd wanted to read, and that is The Ghost Bride by Zhang Chu. So this is a book, it's Malaysia, 1893, I think. So it's really interesting because I don't know anything about this time period in Malaya. So it's Malaya. Actually, I take it back. It's Malaya. It's how they wrote it in here. So I don't know if the names, anyway. So I'm getting confused geographically, but the British are in charge and they kind of have offices in this area. But this is about a family that has lived there that have kind of gone downhill. They had wealth in her grandfather's time, and then when her father took over, things happened, and he kind of when her mother passed away when she was 4. He kind of withdrew from the world, and so their finances have kind of been going downhill since. And so she's now 18, and at a time in this period where she should already be either married or about to be married, or, you know, like have a marriage contract of some sort. He hasn't said much about it. And so, you know, she's been just doing what she can in her kind of little sphere, because again, they don't have a lot of money, so she doesn't get out much. But she is asked by the rich family in the area, the Lim family. I don't think that's how it's said. Anyway, they ask her to be a ghost bride to their son who passed away over 9 months ago. So it has this kind of magical realism of what happens when they ask her to be that, and she's, you know, of course, does not want to be that, because that would mean that she would join their family and she would be taken care of for her whole life. But she's married to a dead man, so she would never be able to marry and have kids of her own, you know, or, well, she would be married to the dead guy, but she would not be able to have kids of her own and things. And so it's a very rare instance that people had that happen. So I went into this thinking it was going to go one way, and it totally went another way. So I'm kind of still on the fence about this book. It's not that I don't like it, because I think the writing is really well done. I was surprised this is written in first person. I was not expecting that. I don't read as much first person anymore. I read a lot of first person when I read like urban fantasies and not even paranormal. Mostly it's urban fantasies. And I just don't read enough of those anymore to be really into first person. I personally write first person most often. I find that format works well for my writing. But it's funny, I just haven't read anything recently that's really been first person. So it was kind of a shock to me that this historical fiction was that. But I'm like on the fence about this one too, but not like the other one where I was mad. This one's more like, I don't know where this is going, because what just happened, because again, I'm about 120 pages in. Something just happened about 20 pages ago that I'm like, whoa, what is going on? So it's interesting. I'm going to push through on this one. I think I'm pretty sure there's not unless something really, really bad happens, but I'm already 120 pages in, and it's about 350. So I think I'm going to try to push through and try to get a lot of this done today is my goal. It's a really weird book. I don't think I'm explaining it very well. I might be able to do it better after I finished it, but so far I'm still very intrigued on this. I still want to know what happens. So I'm going to continue reading that one. So again, I have no idea what I'm going to read next. I have brought them over here, but you know, it's just like, I don't know if I'm going to, I have a reread. I might reread Marked in Death by Anne Bishop. This is book 4 in the other series. You know how much I love that, and I want to reread the series. I do have a Christmas book from my favorite historical romance series. This is Jennifer Ashley's Of Mackenzie's Clan Christmas. There are 2, one's a really short story, or a pretty short story, and then the other one's a pretty big, probably a novella. And I've not read either of these because they're farther in the series than technically I am. I think I'm a book off from reading these, but because that book is technically in the past, I could probably read these. So I might pick this up as a Christmas read. I don't know. I haven't read any romance recently. I still want to read Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope, but I have a fear this is moving into January at this point. But I still have over almost 500 pages left of this one. Yeah. And I haven't touched it for months. And then I am going to finish out Tad Williams' The Witchwood Crown probably later, probably next weekend, I think is my goal. Because again, I want to read Empire Grass next month or February. I haven't decided which. But I need to finish my reread of this, and I'm not going to read it all the way through. I just want to read the last, pretty much I think I've decided I'm going to read the last couple hundred pages, because that's where all the cliffhanger endings are, and they are epic. And I hear that this one has epic ones too, and those are good, and that's epic fantasy. Favorite author kind of thing. So anyway, that is it. That's all my stuff. Hey, what are you guys reading? Do you ever have those, like, where you pick up books, you're like been waiting all year to read it, and then you start it and you're like, I don't know, I'm a little upset about the 7 Days in May. I'm kind of worried about that. And then, but again, I'm hoping to get to a few more books here on my vacation. And as I said, I'm going to do some stuff in my library, filming probably here today. I don't know how to show off the library the way it is and then how it's going to be, but we'll see. I'll do some kind of trickery. I don't know. I'm not very good with the filming. You guys know that. I don't have all the tricks. But I will try to do something. So we'll see. But I'll show you what it looks like probably in the end. And maybe, I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to do a full bookshelf tour yet. I'm not sure if I have time for that in the next couple weeks. But, I mean, I could start it. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys will have to let me know. So, anyway, that's it. I hope you guys have a great week. And if you have the holiday off, enjoy that and with your families. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.